Hello guys, welcome back. This is Miles from Swiss Crypto Podcast, and in this video I'm gonna talk about Hong Kong's state of crypto. Before we start, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to click the subscription button down below, click the bell to get notified so I can bring some well-researched content right to you. Now stay tuned and let's get into it. Hong Kong has been in the news quite a lot of time lately, if you want to say so, especially because of the riots and the demonstrations that are going on in Hong Kong of the people that are not content with the new laws that China wants to implement also on Hong Kong. I don't want to go into detail about this aspect of Hong Kong. I want to show you in this podcast why Hong Kong also plays an important role in cryptocurrency. And here's why. To begin with, I just want to give you a quick overview what Hong Kong really is. Hong Kong is a special administrative region in southern China. It inhabits about 7.4 million people and is actually one of the most densely populated places in the world. And according to Wikipedia, it is one of the world's most significant financial centers, consistently ranking as the most competitive and freest economic area in the world. And as if this statement wasn't enough to bring glory and joy to the cryptocurrency space, it also states that Hong Kong hosts the largest concentration of ultra high net worth individuals of any city in the world. So there's a lot of money there that could potentially flow into cryptocurrency. And first, we're gonna have a look at what is being made for cryptocurrency and for blockchain in Hong Kong. And at the end, I'm gonna talk about the regulations that have been put out by the SFC, the Securities and Futures Commission of Hong Kong, so that you guys know more or less how the regulations in Hong Kong are concerning cryptocurrencies. So Hong Kong really is, as Switzerland is, one of the leading countries, if you want to say so, when it comes to cryptocurrencies and the potential for cryptocurrencies. There are different companies in Hong Kong that are trying to make crypto more accessible for potential investors, for small investors, and in the end, for the everyday people. For example, there's a company called PandiX that is a blockchain-based point-of-sale group, and they brought crypto payments to different restaurant chains around Hong Kong, so it is now possible to pay with cryptocurrencies with Bitcoin in those different restaurant chains, and that just makes cryptocurrency more accessible to the everyday people. Not discussing the point if Bitcoin really is made for payments right now as it developed over the last few years, but nevertheless a very, very good project. And what is also interesting is that there are currently over 39 BTC ATMs in Hong Kong, with some of them also offering Bcash, Ethereum, Dash, Litecoin, Zcash, and even Dogecoin. So with 7.4 million people living on such dense space, it is really vital that people hear about cryptocurrency and that they have access to buying and selling cryptocurrencies. And I think that it's a big step by introducing Bitcoin ATMs or crypto ATMs around the city. And with a count of 39 different Bitcoin ATMs, Hong Kong really takes a leading role when it comes to that aspect. And as a last example, how Hong Kong is also using the technology behind cryptocurrency, Hong Kong's airline Cathay Pacific introduced a blockchain-based app to improve the management of their unit load devices. And for everyone that doesn't know what that is, I didn't know it either. Unit load devices are those big metal containers where your luggage goes in when you are sitting in the plane. So Cathay Pacific now developed an app based on blockchain technology that has the goal to improve the management of those metal containers. So as you see, there's a lot going on when it comes to introducing cryptocurrency and blockchain to the public. But not only on this side is Hong Kong a leading partner in the cryptocurrency space. Hong Kong actually is a dream of a city, if you want to say so, a country, when it comes to giving statements about cryptocurrency regulations. Not like the USA, where we are still waiting for regulations. Hong Kong already gave several statements in the last few years about how crypto should be dealt with and what people can expect from the Securities and Futures Commission. So let's have a brief overview. Cryptocurrencies, especially Bitcoin, have been a big topic in Hong Kong since 2014. In January 2014, the Securities and Futures Commission, the SFC of Hong Kong, first declared Bitcoin and crypto as not legal tender but virtual commodities. In the following year, in March 2015, where the SFC stated that there were no specific regulatory measures on virtual commodities such as Bitcoin in Hong Kong, but existing laws that provide for sanctions against unlawful acts such as money laundering, terrorist financing, fraud, pyramid schemes, and cybercrimes with or without virtual commodities being involved. And they also stated that the police will take enforcement action if they find criminal conduct involving virtual commodities by conducting patrols, including searching for relevant information via public platforms on the internet. And they also mentioned that the financial regulators will also keep a close watch on the development of Bitcoin and other virtual commodities. So as you can see, if you have probably already followed my channel, if you have seen the latest videos on the crypto regulations of the European Union, you recognize that the SFC here and also other governments are primarily concerned about the anti-money laundering and terrorist financing aspect. I think this is just to give the baby a name, if you want to say so. Back in 2015, 2014, no government really was sure what Bitcoin will become, how it will be handled in the future, what we can expect. So they had to give it a name. I mean, if you look at terrorist financing, I would put my hand into the fire and say that most of the terrorist financing is done in US dollars and not in Bitcoin. But yeah, regulators have to somehow name the child, and with this phrase that they have to watch it because of the anti-money laundering law and the terrorist financing acts and frauds, they can make sure that they keep the overview over cryptocurrencies. So here, recurring phrase like in a lot of other countries' crypto regulations. Then the SFC put out a new statement in September 2017 about ICOs, where they say that depending on the facts and circumstances of an ICO, digital tokens that are offered or sold may be securities as defined in the Securities and Futures Ordinance, and therefore subject to the securities laws of Hong Kong. And they also said that parties engaging in a regulated activity, as they say, are required to be licensed by or registered with the SFC, irrespective of whether the parties involved are located in Hong Kong, so long as such business activities target the Hong Kong public. So from 2017 on, they made clear that every company that wants to do an ICO that could involve Hong Kong people, that every such company has to register with the SFC. And finally, on February 2018, they sent out an alert to warn potential investors about potential risks of dealing with crypto exchanges and investing in ICOs. They said investors should also be mindful of the potential risks involved in ICOs and investment arrangements involving digital tokens. As these arrangements and the parties involved operate online, and may not be regulated, investors may be exposed to heightened risks or fraud. Digital tokens traded on a secondary market may give rise to risks of insufficient liquidity or volatile and opaque pricing. Investors should fully understand the features of any products or business projects they intend to invest in and carefully weigh the risks against the return before making an investment. This last sentence really was one that was posted by the SFC, and I think this perfectly finishes this podcast and really brings the message also out to you guys. If you want to invest into cryptocurrencies, make sure that you know what you're investing in. Make sure that you know the regulations in your country, that you know how the government handles such cryptocurrencies, and always make sure that you don't invest more that you can afford to lose. So that's been it for this episode of my podcast. If you like the content I provided, subscribe to my channel. That would mean a lot to me. Give the podcast a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.